episode of the TTown 411 report and our community conversation. We're broadcasting live from the studio of McKinstry's, and we're broadcasting live on Sound Booth Radio 106.1 and Sound Booth TV. Mike, tell them how can they chime in on Sound Booth Radio and Sound Booth TV.
Sure thing, Gerald. You check us out on the radio side of Sound Booth Radio. Just go to your iOS or your Google Play Store, download the Live 365 app. Once you download that app, then type in Sound Booth Radio 106.1. That'll get you on with us on the radio side of Sound Booth Radio. To check us out on the video side, just go to YouTube or Facebook, type in Sound Booth Radio 106.1, or you can type in my name, Michael K. Wilson. That'll get you on with us on the video side of Sound Booth.
We also have on the program with us with our very own Miss Veronica Taylor, who keeps us updated on our health issues. How you doing, Veronica?
I'm good, Darren. How are you?
Good, good. Tell us what's going
Hello,
on.
Mike.
What's going
Hey,
on in the health world?
Okay, the COVID-19 update as of yesterday, on February 15th, because DCH is back reporting, and they're reporting weekly on Wednesday. So COVID-19 and flu hospitalizations. COVID-19 doubled from last week. Remember, last week there was 12 in hospital inpatients, but this week the total is 26. So they a little bit more than double, which is a low number, but still within a week's time they have doubled. The flu inpatient count is 5 or fewer. Tuscaloosa County transmission level for COVID-19 is high. Fed, which had gone down to moderate or substantial last week, is back up to high. So they are still requiring everyone to wear a mask. So hopefully that won't continue. Hopefully that'll trend back down. But as of yesterday, there are 26 inpatients in DCH with C19. Per the New York Times, they're still doing their COVID update for Alabama. And those numbers, as a state overall, they've come down. There's an average of 868 cases that were reported in Alabama in the last week. And so that's down like maybe 600 and something cases, which is good. Cases have decreased by 17% from the average of 2 weeks ago, and deaths have decreased by 45%. The monkeypox update, CDC updated on yesterday, February 15th. There's still 30,193 cases, and Alabama still has 187, so there's no change there. The influenza update continues to come down, which is good. Right now, it's still below the baseline for the 2022-2023 season for Alabama. It's down. It was down last week, and it's down even more this week to 2.54% of flu-like illnesses being reported, per the Alabama Department of Health. So that being said, numbers are down overall, but here locally at the local hospital, the C19 numbers did go up quite a bit. It's not 100 or anything like that, but it went from 12 last week to 26 this week. So please, please, please wear your mask. Don't care what people say. If you feel like you're in an environment where there are a lot of people around, wear your mask, protect yourselves. Definitely social distance. If you can be in a place without wearing your mask, but you can create a lot of distance, that would be wonderful. Wash your hands, sanitize, sneeze in your sleeve, stay home when you're not feeling well. If you have a temp that's not normal, wait at least 24 hours before being around other people. Wait till that temp is down to normal for 24 hours without medication. Just be careful, be careful, be careful.
Okay. Thank you. I want to say hello to everyone that's chimed in. Patricia Sunshine, Monique Lucius, Kai Porter, and all the others. Monique said the mask mandate should still be in effect. I think, just my opinion. That's.
Okay. She mean probably in general. It is. I don't know what happened at the hospital. They updated it in January, so they're now saying that everyone has to wear it. So I thought it was still that everybody had to wear it. But the only change that I really noticed is that all visitors, patients, and staff are to wear their masks, and now they want you to bring your own mask. So we talked about how the charges have gone up for PPE and things like that. And at one time, the hospital would supply the mask when you got to the door and your temp was checked. But now they want you to bring your own mask.
I want to say hello to Angelica Carter. Thank you for chiming in with us. She says she totally agree with Monique Lucius. Thank y'all for joining in, ladies. Join the conversation. You can call in. Let me just say a quick prayer for everyone right quick before we get our callers on the
I'm
line?
sorry, Aaron. We actually got two callers on the line already.
Okay, just tell them to hold 1 second. I didn't get a chance to do my prayer on Tuesday, so I got to make up for today. If y'all would just join me for a quick prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for this opportunity to come on the airways. Heavenly Father, we give you all the grace. We thank you for your grace and your mercy. We give you all the praise and the glory, Heavenly Father. We ask you to continue to watch out for all our essential workers, all the doctors and nurses, receptionists, cooks, laundry department, health, housekeeping, everyone that's a part of the house, the hospitals and the nursing homes. Heavenly Father, we ask that you continue to watch over all the elderly in the in the nursing homes. Heavenly Father, we're praying for our VA hospital members also. We're praying for them too. Heavenly Father, we ask that you continue to watch over the sick, and we ask them for your healing hand. Heavenly Father, right now we're praying for all our essential workers, our government officials. We're praying for our first responders, Heavenly Father, all our military staff. Please continue to protect them and watch them from all shape, forms, or fashion of harm. Heavenly Father, we're praying for all the bereavement families right now. We're praying for the Cross family. We're praying for the McKinstry family. We're praying for all the families that are lost ones, that lost loved ones. We know that this is your will have been done. Heavenly Father, we cannot do this without you. We give you all the praise and all the glory. Heavenly Father, in your Son, Jesus Christ's name, we pray. Amen. Amen. Amen.
Man,
Amen.
Yeah, I had a cousin just posted that she lost her mother. We want to pray for her, and want to pray for Barbara Cross and her passing of her husband, and everyone that lost a loved one. We just want to pray for them, and the ones that are in the hospital that's sick right now, sick and shut in. Mike, we can go ahead with those callers right now. Let's go with
okay,
that.
we have on the phone Miss Lisa Young, also calling in from Detroit, Michigan. We have Miss
Ann Long.
Long.
Yeah, Miss Ann Long. She's my cousin also. I told her, she commented about what we were going to be talking about tonight. I asked her to join in and be our guest tonight. So I'm glad she did call in. How you doing, Ann?
I'm good. How are you? How's everyone on the line?
Great.
Doing well, doing well.
Doing well.
Well, we thank you for joining in right quick on this before we get started with our conversation. We do have announcements we always have to make. Mike has some about the upcoming um, uh, this Saturday at the student, parent, and community at Greater Faith. Go ahead, Mike.
Well, actually, Lala, I think you can tell it better.
Okay.
You call it. Go ahead, Lala.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good.
Doing good.
This Saturday, this will be the separate uh forum where we want to address some of the concerns of the parents and the students at our in our community schools. We started with Hillcrest, but we're learning that there's a pattern across several schools. We just want to encourage everyone to come out and voice their concerns. Um, we have to get organized in the way we collect information so that it can be presented in a way to inform people as to what type of atmosphere or climate that our young people are experiencing at school. Once we've collected our information, what we're going to do is see which authority we can send it to and see if we can get something done to change it. I mean, it's going to take everybody coming in and contributing to the discussion. People are going to have to be open and tell what issues. I know sometimes that a lot of teachers, they want to talk, but they're fearful of their jobs. Join AEA and come on.
Okay, and that's
But we're gonna address it as a community.
this Saturday, February the 18th at 11 a.m. It's going to be held at Greater Faith Church, located at 16357 Alabama Highway 69 South, right here in Alabama. It's right at the at the Moundville and Tuscaloosa County line right there. Pizza and soda will be served. Um, let your voice be heard. So that's a great opportunity of information that's going to be in. And this is a continuance from Miss Brown and the students that walked out at Hillcrest High School that made national attention here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Yes, and one of the things that the students asked that if they didn't come to a compromise, or if administration didn't seem to be genuinely trying to address the issue, they asked everyone to support them by voting no on the tax referendum that just failed.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always advocating for people to come out to vote. But still, only 17%
Mm.
of the registered voters that were able to vote in that election actually showed up to vote.
Yeah. Very, very, very low turnout. Very, very low turnout. Well, while we got our caller from Detroit on the phone with it, we ain't gonna keep her long. We just wanted we want to get on this conversation about these active shooters, y'all. It's beginning. At one point, it was looking as it was white people that were doing the active shooting. So now we're beginning to see that color is not the objective of a mass shooting. You got mass shootings at churches, you got mass shootings at malls, you got mass shootings at schools and colleges right now. So uh, I guess one thing when I want to bring out about the mass shootings or the active shooters is there's a no color barrier. It didn't matter about color. But I am seeing that there is a mental health and a breakdown in the system in relations to people being able to get guns so easily. Um, and how is it in Michigan right now? I mean, it happened in your home state, this last mass shooting.
Yes. This last mass shooting that just happened at Michigan State University, it was a young guy that shouldn't even been able to have a gun in his possession. He had just got caught in 2019 with a weapon, only did a day in jail. They gave him a year probation. So he was allowed to get out, complete probation, and still buy a gun. And recently he purchased two.
Yes, yes,
So as the news updated, um, it seemed like every half hour the news update with more information on he purchasing the guns himself, the list that he had, his intentions of going out to a church to commit a shooting, a Myers warehouse to commit a shooting. He was going to go to New Jersey and commit a shooting. So he had a list of, after he got through at Michigan State University, he was going to continue on.
right.
But the sad part about it is because he taken his own life after he shot and injured others and killed others. Um, so now it's like you can't even get justice out of that because he's taking his own life. And it's sad because if justice would have been done when he first got in trouble with a gun, and then maybe he would have been still in trouble for these next 5 years, or this past 5 years, or going to the fifth year, and then he wouldn't be able to have that gun. And the situation with that, after a situation like this happened, then they want to holler, he had mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
A whole lot of people, this is thing come out, mental illness, but then mental illness did not just have him to kill himself first. He should have killed himself first, and then three other people wouldn't be grieving now. Five other people wouldn't be praying and hoping that their kids pull through, their children pull through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really a sad situation. Not just only with that situation, But even with all of the killings and the shootings and the murders that just happening right here in Michigan, it's just been crazy because I'm sure everybody has heard of Black Lives Matter. Mm-hmm. Black Lives Matter only to the ones that it want to matter to, because a whole lot of black people is still taking black lives right here in Michigan. And I'm sure it's happening in Alabama as well. So this gun reform, gun laws, got something has to be done about it. Has to be done.
What?
We got another caller on the line.
Okay. Well, let me ask Ann right quick. What's your procedure to own a gun and or to purchase? Do y'all have like a mandate for open carry, or do y'all have you must have a concealed weapon? Do you have to have a gun permit? What's Michigan's rules on guns?
Yes, you have to have all of that, but first of all, you have to get a clearance to be able to get a gun. You cannot purchase a gun or get licensed here in the state of Michigan if you have a felony. Mm-hmm. So, and then they do background, well, folks do background checks and be able to get cleared to be able to purchase a gun. And then you have to go to a class and be able to get a CCW and a CPF permit to be able to carry your gun.
Wait. Now you said something we've been talking about. You said a class.
Yes. Yes, a class. Yes.
Is that?
Here it's mandatory to go to a class before you could even get a license to be able to carry a gun. Oh, like you could purchase a gun if you don't have a felony. Mm-hmm. And if your background clear, if you get a good background check. But if you do not go to class and get the license to be able to carry that, you can buy it, but you ain't supposed to carry it.
Can I ask how long is the class? Do you know?
Well, they have various classes. One class is 2 hours. They have a class that you got to go like 3 different times for, which is a 2 hour class. But the class is from 2 to 4 hours.
And that's mandatory in the state of Michigan.
That's mandatory. That's mandatory in Michigan.
Wow. We've been talking about that, Mike.
I think that's something that need to be a nationwide thing.
But it all boils back to what? The Congress of your state. Look at who the governor is. Great governor. Mm. To me, Michigan has a great governor. She may not be perfect, but she has a great governor. My family loves her in Michigan.
Honey,
and she's going to turn out that vote.
She is the best that we have had.
That's what I hear all the time.
She is the best that we have had. And this right here, this Michigan State University shooting, have just made things going to even be tougher, which is a good thing. Because when I tell you, not only at Michigan State, you know, my heart and my condolences go out to all the families. Because one of the young ladies that were murdered, she is a niece to one of my classmates. So I don't know her on a personal level, but with that being my classmate's niece, you know, it just feels like family. But my heart goes out to all of the ones that lost their lives and all the families that still praying their children recover. But yes, this gun stuff has to stop. It must stop. They got to get, you know, heavier and tougher on it and get these guns out of these people's homes, out their cars, out their hands, because they have no gun control. None. None. And then the state got to start listening to these people when they say these people have mental illness. Something has to be done because they get these people, put them in the hospital, put them on some medicine, and let them right back out in a week. And it's sad. Then they getting out and taking people's lives.
Innocent people.
innocent
Well,
people.
yeah. I truly believe with Governor Whitmore that I know just like with every state, it has to go through their Congress and things like that. And I know everybody's probably a little bit different, but I do truly believe in when you say that the gun laws are about to become stricter. I do for that state. I do believe
Yes, yes,
Hold,
it is most definitely need so.
well, hold on with
Yep,
us.
that one of those young ladies. I don't know if people watch reality TV, but Flavor of Love, one of the stars, that young lady was her niece. One of those young ladies was her niece.
Hmm.
So it's probably your classmates relative as well. But I only saw, I don't know, one African American one young lady. She was killed, and
yes.
that was Delicious's niece.
Okay, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mhm. Yeah, because right now they have not told us the nationality of the other five, even though I do know. The
Mm-hmm.
news haven't made it public, but I do know the nationality of the other ones, and they are not African American. The ones that are still in ICU, when the condition has been updated today to stable. Praise
Okay.
God for
Hmm. Well, just hold on. We got another caller. Go ahead, Mike.
that. Okay.
Yeah, I was just saying we have another call on the line.
Go ahead, caller.
Hey girl, hey Mike, how you doing? This be better.
Hey,
Hello, how you
hey,
doing?
Stabella, how you
Hey,
doing?
I'm doing all right. I just want to say, Ariel Anderson is my cousin from the,
Sorry,
and when you, it's sad because my family is all devastated in Michigan now. When we get the news, you can look at TV, you can listen at the radio that somebody got shot, and you say, okay, well, we praying for the family. But when you find out it's your family,
Uh huh.
it's another knock. So I'm just asking you all just to keep our family up in your prayers. It's devastating because we have a lot of teenagers around Ariel's age that they all hung together. And so we're gonna definitely need prayer. This girl was gonna graduate and she had her vision to be a doctor, and it's just devastating. And so we're just asking everybody just keep our family up in prayer right now.
Okay.
So we in the midst of getting the funeral arrangements and everything together now and everything. So just keep her mom. Her mom is up in prayer as well. Definitely, definitely.
Wow. So
Yeah. So
it's
we
really
need
it's
it.
starting to touch home. It's beginning to hit home of these crimes of these people that shouldn't have guns, don't need guns, and we need to make some kind of stricter laws. And look like we're loosening the laws where we should be strictening the laws.
Yeah, that as well, but on the street you can buy anything.
I know, I know.
They don't even have to have a license to carry a gun. They can buy them on the street. And we seen here in Tuscaloosa where they didn't broke into these pawn shops and they wear guns places, even get the guns.
That's true. That's true.
So we gotta pray just for protection, period. Because they're gonna always get them. You have drug dealers get them, they're gonna sell them for little or nothing on the street. It's people in the house that get guns galore, just like they get weed, just like they get crack. They selling them. It's a hobby, it's a job for them.
Well,
And these kids are angry, it's mental, and then they angry, they bitter, they upset to just get guns and just kill for no reason at all. Hurting people, hurt other people. We got hurting kids out here full of anger. And it ain't all mental, it's just angry kids. So when we get back to a place when there's parents, coming together as unity, and back when our days, it's like everybody was your mom on the block. When we got to get back to that, when we have young kids having kids, And their mentality is not like our mentality. Let them do everything. I just got pissed off at my son from buying his son to play weapon gun. My kids didn't wasn't raised with guns, even play guns and BB guns. They wasn't allowed to do that. But then when they buy my grandkids guns, I'm upset about it. I go over their house and I throw them all away. Because when you put a gun in a child's hand at 5 years old, the first thing they're gonna say, I'm gonna kill you. Because that's all they see. Mm-hmm. So I told my son, I said, I'm angry and you setting them up for failure. Because that's all, they've never seen anything positive. When you see it on TV, you see when somebody shot somebody, they see these video games where they're killing officers, where they're killing each other. That's all they see. So there's nothing positive, even with a play gun. They need to destroy all the play guns, get them off the stores. But we have to blame the parents for it. It's called unchecked behavior. When they put a play gun in the child hand, it's unchecked behavior because they don't have nothing positive to say when the gun is in their hand. But I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna shoot you. Nothing for protection. So, prayer is one thing, but action is another.
You're absolutely right. And we want to say a prayer, for Ariel Anderson, your cousin, and your classmate's daughter or niece. We just praying for them. We know it's something that's going to be easy to get.
And even the children, even the kids. I have a best friend in Detroit. She called yesterday. Her daughter was the friends of the Caucasian young girl and the Caucasian white man. Young man. They had classes together, and she told me to pray for her daughter. She said because her daughter couldn't sleep none last night because she's seen the dead bodies. Mm-hmm. And she's up scared. Michigan State, they closed it down. I think they go back Monday. But these kids are at home, and they was telling them, go get y'all kids, and everything. And, they at home traumatized. So they're going to need counseling.
Yeah. Yeah, counseling.
And so
yeah, they're going to need some counseling.
They're going to need counseling because, to see that, on hand right there in front of their faces, that they can't even sleep at night because it plays a memory over and over again in their mind, So I know how it is being, of the mindset of when we had, the 9/11 to see dead bodies in the street. And at the hospital, all these people going through stuff. That plays on my mind every time September comes. It's like a trauma thing going on, that I see it.
Yeah, that's PTSD.
So I understand what they're going through and what they're saying because I suffer from that too when it comes to see all of this happen. One day you all right, and the next day you see all these bodies you walking over dead. It plays a memory in your mind. So they need counseling and pray for them that they even have peace and be able to sleep comfortably at night. Even if the killer, his family, he has a family too. Now I know they're gonna raise their child like that, but to see this happen to their child, but we already know, that the trick of the enemy, he's thinking who he may devour, and then to make you turn the gun on yourself and kill yourself. That's satanic mess. We have to realize that we're in this world, but we dealing with negative forces that's against us as well in the spirit realm.
Well, yeah.
So we have to realize that and come against different demonic spirits of murderers. Just like in Tuscaloosa now, that's causing over this nation here is demonic spirits of murder, suicide and murder, depression. That's what's over this city right now. And so I'm up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning casting this mess down.
Well, we appreciate you. We really do.
So, we just it's just power in numbers. We got to know the power of prayer. It works.
It does.
Yes, it does. It works, but God is in control of everything. But sin abound, grace did much more. He's still yet delivering, still healing. Because we can see accidents when a car is total, but we see a person walk out of there. So he's still doing what he has to do, and it's just and it is, and it's not gonna get any better. It's not. But it's a wake up call. It's definitely a wake up call to check our children and check our own lives.
Well, you're
Because
absolutely
we
right.
never know.
You're absolutely right. Kyle Porter said he agreed with everything you just said. He said the worst thing is when parents introduce their kids to violence and desensitize them to violence. You're right, it does start at home first. That's also classified as PTSD. It's not just that a person has to go to war to experience it.
Absolutely.
I want to say hello to my good friend Jessica Curtis. Yeah,
Thank you.
and you know when we look at these,
Thank you.
we look at the suspects on. You
You
can
know, Dad, this is Lisa. I grew up in a home where we had, my grandfather and them, they kids, they had pistols and all, and we were taught to respect guns. I have always, even when as a child, when I can remember riding with my grandfather, and he had a gun rack in the back of his truck.
Right.
So there would be like 2 to 3 guns, rifles or guns in the back of the truck. But I think you have to, when it comes to guns, people have to be taught that a gun is for hunting and protection.
That's right.
So they learn a respect for a weapon. I was always told if you point your gun at somebody, then shoot. So the last thing you want to do is to point your gun at somebody.
That's right.
And I don't know if it's a lack of, and I'm not trying to sympathize, I don't know if it's a lack of communication skills or if we just have a bunch of young people that do not know how to channel their anger.
That's
Yeah, because a lot of them are all young. We go from what was the other shooter, 18 in Buffalo, and then this man with Michigan was 43 years old.
And you know this. Let me bring that up while you're bringing it up real quick.
So Lisa, that's right. It's like people need to learn to channel their anger at all ages. It's learning. It's still an ongoing process.
The case in Buffalo, the Buffalo grocery store shooter. They sentenced him to life or death today. Well, yesterday, I want to say. That was fast. That was a fast trial, hearing, plea, or whatever you want to call it. Because was it what? Let me just get my. I want to get my facts correct, but it hadn't happened. It don't seem like it was a year.
I don't think it was a year.
But
Probably June or July last year.
he got life in prison on that case. I'm trying to go back to when it actually happened. The first, I'm looking it up right quick.
The Buffalo shooting was May 14th, 2022.
Yes, exactly. So it ain't been what 9 months. It ain't been 9 months, and he's been sentenced. We don't get those kind of results here. I mean, I have never seen it. I mean, unless you just ask for a speedy trial of some sort. But man, that I was expecting that to be lingering on for a while.
Maybe because he pled guilty. I know pleading guilty usually puts some speed to it when you plead guilty. I mean, he pled guilty in December. Well, he said he was willing to.
And I don't know.
Take the death penalty off the table.
And I don't know if y'all seen where they went to court. Where the family members, some of the family members were lunging at him. For as trying to get at him for the situation. In the courtroom, they show bits and pieces of that.
Yeah, looking at the speediness of his trial could potentially be because he was willing to plead guilty to avoid the death penalty. In December, he was willing to plead guilty. So that has a lot to do with the seriousness of some of the when someone's tried and all that. They said that he was willing to plead guilty in December. So apparently, I guess they took the death penalty off the table because he didn't get he got life, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, he got life.
Yeah. So I don't know for sure what the details of it are, but per CNN it says that the Buffalo grocery store mass shooter willing to plead guilty to federal charges if death penalty off the table. His attorney said.
But we got the University of Michigan shooter um, that went on the bus and shot the Virginia football players,
Uh-huh.
and then we have this gentleman that went to the Michigan State and he's shooting innocent students. What what more? I mean, we've had several school shootings, and what is it going to take for our governmental officials to really concentrate on a plan for these weapons? And I'm not asking everybody to say, okay, hey, take my Second Amendment rights to bear arms away. No,
That
but
is, but see, that ain't even the thing anymore. There, we already know that that's just a scapegoat for what they want to use. They keep yelling the Second Amendment rights, but to me, it's all about money. Those big gun companies are paying money to folks that allow them to continue to make them. If they were discouraged from making these weapons to put into the public sector, the civilian sector, then most of those the guns that are being used are military weapons. They're used strictly for killing. You're not hunting with that. Neither one of those. I don't think a person goes in the woods with any kind of AR weapon trying to hunt. If you do, I don't see you eating nothing. So to say that it's for hunting purposes, let's dismiss that. To say it's for protection purposes, if you have a person breaking in, when you consider that to be overkill to fill them with 60 rounds in a second, that's overkill, right?
mm,
So is it protection? When you can do the same thing with a handgun or rifles. Like Lala said, my grandfather had weapons all around the house, and we knew them. We were taught, hey, don't you touch that, don't even look at it.
mm,
And we didn't. My granddaddy kept a rifle or a shotgun loaded because he stayed in the country. And truth be told, if something come running through the yard, they was got. That's pretty much the only reason why. And we never even touched those rifles or shotguns. But he never had a AR or M16. Well, back then it was the M16 or AK-47 or nothing. He didn't have none of those. He didn't have none of those weapons because what he used his for was hunting. So ain't nobody telling you to take away the Second Amendment right. Just let's put a ban on assault rifles. Let's put a ban on a fully automatic rifle. Let's not sell bus stocks for semi-automatic rifles that are make them fully automatic. Let's not do that stuff. Let's not sell those extra long clips that you got to stick that you stick in there with extra rounds in,
that's a
or the
start.
barrel drums that shoot out the big rounds that's putting massive holes and stuff.
But when it comes to gun laws and when it comes to um, how to deal with police gone rogue, it's the Congress that seems to be holding it up. Because I'm reading all this stat from the Chicago News, And I've heard this on CNN too, I mean not CNN, but MSNBC on the past couple of days. Um, Yesterday on MSNBC, they said that 67% of Americans support stricter gun laws. So this article from Chicago News says that 71% of Americans back in August said that gun laws should be stricter. The majority favor both policy and the restriction on who can buy. 85% support a federal law preventing mentally ill people from purchasing guns, compared to 59% who support a nationwide ban on semi-automatic weapons. So either way, over 50% of American people that they polled support some type of stricter gun laws related to who can buy and what type of weapons they can buy.
Hmm. Wow.
So you would think with that being said, when you see these topics of people that start to talk about their amendment rights, well, when you poll people more broadly, most people support stricter gun laws. Nobody supports taking away your right to bear arms.
I think the president just recently said something about that in the State of the Union, where he said that he's not trying to take away your right to bear arms. Just let's do something about these semi-automatic and fully automatic weapons. I
But
sincerely
Obama said the same thing. And Obama said it too, Mike. It's like they don't listen to that part. You know how you kind of blank out what you don't want to hear? It's like they didn't listen to him. They don't listen to him.
And it's like I think that was your cousin there that said you got people that stockpiling weapons. It's so easy for them to get them. And true enough, it is. I don't understand how you can allow someone to have a bunker full of assault weapons. You got an armory of assault weapons. And I understand that it's your right to be able to buy this stuff, but why should it be a right to buy all that stuff? Because at any given time you can snap, and anybody who is around you is going to be the victim of that. That's just my opinion. So we got people around here that got like 1,000 guns, and they steady buying every day, buying go to gun shows all the time, buying different types of ammunition.
And you still on the phone with us?
I know she left.
She dropped. Okay.
Yeah. No. Her. Oh, I'm sorry. No, she's still. I'm sorry. That's Miss Temple that's there.
Okay.
Yeah, and from Michigan still online. I'm listening.
Okay. Well, just I heard you mention in your conversation about the Black Lives Matters and people steady killing blacks, still killing blacks. What's the crime rate? You're in Detroit.
Well, actually, I live outside of Detroit, but I'm in Detroit every day for work.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, the crime rate here, like they started this year off, um, I didn't lost count, but I would say the first week into the year, probably at least 9 people that got killed
Mm.
by the hands of other black people. So it's like black lives don't even matter to other black people. And it's really sad because
I'm sorry, I'm switching over. Hold on, just.
of men to speak out upon Black Lives Matter. But I mean, I even went to some of the meetings too because I wanted to see exactly what they was talking about. But then I had to voice my opinion. Why is it Black Lives Matter only when white police officers take one of the black lives or another white person take a black life? why don't the black life matter to other black people? So it's just really sad. I pray because I am a mother of young son, 32 years old. I have nephews, and I have nephews and cousins, in their 30s and 40s, and I'm always telling them, be careful out here, pay attention because everybody that say they're your friend, they're not, they're your foe. Um, so I'm always telling them like, hey, if the police flash the light, pull you over, put your hand up quick because it's just sad because nowadays you can't even get stopped by the police and think you about to get a ticket and then you'll be able to pull off. You don't know if you about to get pulled out the car, get beaten, or even worse, getting killed. So it's just a lot like going on, and not just here in Michigan, but everywhere. These guns gotta stop. These people taking each other's lives over nothing has to stop. It's just a sad situation, but I know what we have to continue to do is pray. We must pray. We must come together. And when I was younger, I used to always hear my mother say, it takes a village to raise a child. And nowadays, we got to go back to this. Everybody has, no matter how old our children get, because all three of mine, I have three, they're all grown. My youngest is 20, I have a 24-year-old, I have 32-year-old. But I tell them every single day, you never get too old to listen. You never get too old to listen. So we gotta just be out here, help our nieces, our nephews. We just gotta help each other. We all gotta come together. We got to get these guns out of these people's hands because if people get mad, even with driving, this road rage, it's just crazy. If somebody about to come past you, you don't let them over, they ready to shoot.
Mm.
That's true.
It's just really sad. I pray driving to work. I pray when I leave home work, driving all the way back home, so I can make it back home safe.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
We got another call on the
Yes.
phone. Go ahead, Jesse.
Yes. Hey, good evening, everyone.
Hey, Des, what's going on?
Everything's going pretty good. I know it's a sad time. We're always having to have these discussions about, these mass shootings and, black on black crime. And I understand what Matt, the lady was talking about, in as far as, because I hear that a lot sometimes. What is black on black crime? Black Lives Matter and how a discussion goes from that. Um, I think we had a discussion probably a couple of months ago. I alluded to, kind of, we gotta, we can never forget that a lot of the way we treat each other is still stems from racism, believe it or not, from slavery time, to how we treat each other. You look at, there were some black folks on those plantations that were turned against their own just for being benefited by the slave master, and they were the ones that would track their own people down and capture them and bring them back before the white boys, the white guys would. So a lot of this stuff is systemic, and it just worked its way on through decades and decades of our history until now. So you still have black folks that look at black folks as less than. Because you can talk to some of our young kids and stuff, and you ask them a question. What do you think will happen to you if you beat up a white guy as opposed to beat up on a black guy? Where do you think you'll get the most punishment from? And how fast you think the police react to those crimes? They'll tell you, they're gonna react. They'll tell you quick. Oh, they're gonna come, it'll be for the white person. So we already been programmed to think that we're less than already. So we are some of these young folks who really, like you said, they haven't been raised right, because most of us on this panel, we've been raised right. and they don't value life, they don't value each other. So they get out here and they don't have any eyes on them. As ma'am said, it takes a village. So now the village is gone. You know, that village mentality, that village community, that sort of environment is gone from our community because, you know, it got watered down as the parents got younger and the parents got less involved and they want to be more friends than parents to their children. So they aren't teaching them the same values as we were taught. So those kids are growing up, especially young boys, young men, they're growing up without the value of protecting each other. But they're growing up as being single minded and only for themselves. I remember a time when, you fought. You and the guy had a disagreement on the basketball court, he fouled you too much. Y'all figured it out with your hands. And it got broken up. But men on this panel and had confrontations as children when we were kids, young kids. That cat we had a confrontation with, we still played with him the next day.
Mm-hmm.
But now, they don't play with each other the next day. They looking for each other that same day to kill them. Why? Because they don't even value their own lives. They don't value this individual's life. And it's a sad time for us. And as far as the gun control thing and the Second Amendment, that Second Amendment was meant for the colonial time after the Revolutionary War. That was put in the Constitution so that we can defend ourselves from Great Britain if they came back over here and try to take back the nation.
Mm-hmm.
Who's gonna come and take America from America? We, do y'all guys see the weapons that we have in the military? Ain't nobody that crazy. They might as well that one of Daryl's revolvers and put it to their head. Because that's how ridiculous that sounds. To go up against America and try to invade America and take it from America. That'll never happen. Ever. There's nobody that bold and there's nobody that powerful. There's nobody that got that type of weaponry to do that. So the Second Amendment, that is all it's for is to protect the nation from invaders. Great Britain, most of all. So that's just the way I look at it, when you think about it. And ma'am,
You're right. But this, you know what, y'all? While we talking, I'm looking at the pictures that Daryl showed. This is a multifaceted issue, and we can work on all facets. But it seems like it depends on who you're talking to get something done. Instead of working on the facet that you're addressing, like we say, Congress, they want to say, well, let's work on how they're getting the guns don't kill people, and then you have the community saying, well, no, people kill people. So what y'all gonna do is make it hard to get them. Then you got those other people who are saying nothing else. So if we talk about the young people, which definitely needs to be addressed, but if we look at the shooters that they are posted, two of the ones that are seen are well over 40 years old. So it's a mental health issue. It's a gun issue. I mean, it's a gun issue. It's a people issue. It's a mental health issue. It's a youth issue. It's a race issue. There's a lot of facets to this problem, and it's really, really, truly sad.
We got another call. We got another call on the phone. Go ahead, Kai. It's,
Hey, everybody, how y'all doing?
yeah.
I'm going to touch on something you just said, Curtis, but I'm going to start with this. America has, I think, a 98% higher rate of residents with firearms than 30 other countries. And it's based on what you just said, Curtis. But at the same time, when you said that no other country can come over here and take America, China, Russia, and
think the Cubans definitely, North Korea is working on it. China announced last year in early March that they want to take control of the semiconductors. They already own 30%, 35% of the world's semiconductors that the world operates right now. Like your phone operates, like how cars operate, computers, everything. Even our military, our tanks, our planes, everything, our electrical grids in this nation. They announced that they were going to invade Taiwan because Taiwan also is a very heavy producer in semiconductors. That's why the U.S. is over there now patrolling the waters, the international waters, because China's plans. China, like I said, in cahoots with Russia, they want a war because they can shut down everything. They can shut down the production. They can shut down everything we got going over here in all our military, in all facets of life that we address, that we love and just enjoy. If they take over that, you got Russia trying to take over the world's oil production by invading Ukraine, because Ukraine produces 70% of the world's oil, much more than Russia does. But they're trying to control that, so that they want to invade. All they got to do is you control those two countries.
But I mean, that's
So that'll put our production for as semiconductors. We only have maybe a handful of plants here in America recently opened to produce semiconductors. They weren't over there. We were getting them all from China. We were buying them all from China and Taiwan. We only producing one.
That's not the subject that we're talking about tonight, though.
And when we sat there and sold everything to all these other countries, but in the Navy, because we didn't want to pay Americans the money they deserve to do these jobs.
Can I intervene?
But go ahead.
Yeah, with the oil, just a real correction. You know, United States, we produce the most oil in the world.
No, we got Russia.
Yeah, we don't have Russia. No, then it's Russia.
We have reserves. We have reserves. They got enough oil over there.
Crude,
okay. Like 200 or 300 years.
Okay,
200 or 300,000 years. So we don't have that kind of oil over here.
Crude oil, as far as crude oil producers, we are top. As far as crude oil. Then comes Russia. Then comes Saudi Arabia. Then comes Canada. Then there's Iraq. I'm looking at that, right now. So America has a lot of oil. We have oil places that we can get oil. We just don't measure it, and that's something that a lot of Republicans want America to want.
Guys,
Yeah.
seriously, we got completely off the subject that we talking.
Shut up. You're absolutely right.
We're talking about these mass shootings and gun laws, not about military occupations and so forth and so on. So let's try to get back on the top of your hand, which is the mass shootings of everybody, these college campuses, these grocery stores, these
churches.
It's just everywhere we have mass shootings going on right now, and it is. At one time, you could say it was a black and white thing, but if you look at the screen, you'll see that it's not a black and white thing anymore. It's not a young and old thing, because we got some older people that are doing it as well. So, like Veronica was saying, It's more stuff that we need to be trying to address. It's so many different facets of this whole entire gun control. It's not even fun. And I would like to say that part of it is that just that gun control, but there is mental health, there is anger in our young people,
Hatred.
that was said earlier tonight. Uh,
Hatred.
yeah, hatred. All it's so many different things that I think we have let go for so long that now it's just to the top of the pot and it's starting to boil over on every side. So what do we do?
Earlier, the sister mentioned it takes a village. What happened to that village? Because that's when it comes to us, our generation, we know about the village. But the generation today, what happened to that village? It's extinct. Not even heard of in their language. You have brothers and sisters who tell each other, do not put your hand on my child when they acting up in your house. You just come tell me and I deal with it. When when we grew up, there was no speaking in that nature to one another, and that's my brother and that's my sister. You weren't saying that to a neighbor. A neighbor could whoop your tail and get you right and get you straight and then take you home and your parents will handle it again with you. Even worse, we don't have that today. The very core values we grew up on and we were raised up on, that is not being taught. The ball has been severely dropped and it's been kicked away. You got kids growing up in a household with their parents, and their rooms have become miniature apartments. They have computers, they have iPads, they have their cell phones, they have their TV. They ain't got to come in there, and the parent brings them food in the room and wondering why they fail in their school.
Mike, you might want to drop one of your.
I think as of today, you guys know how to say some things change, but nothing stays the same, but things stay the same. I think when we start to talk about a village now, we can't reflect on the same village that we grew up in.
No.
I think there still needs to be a village, but let me finish. I think there still has to be a village. There still needs to be a village, but I think people like Mr. Eatman, who has really stepped up in the community a lot. Just like some of the things that we have, like the basketball tournaments and things like that. I think that, so like I said, some things change, but some things stay the same, right? So there has to be parts of it that just stay the same, that we do it the same way, but we just have to figure out how to establish a 21st century village, I guess.
Reestablishing the village, the 21st century village. You're right. Mike, you might want to go ahead and check with Miss Young and see if she's still with us, or is she on La La Land?
She on your line, ain't she?
She with you.
No.
Are y'all thinking about Miss Long from Detroit, Michigan?
No, Miss Young.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Miss Young. We think we lost her, but Veronica, you know what I'm talking about. Maybe she.
I think she dropped my line a minute ago.
Okay.
And then she was back on after that. I thought she was gonna call back, but she was back on after that. So I thought she had called you.
You texting Miss Young.
Yeah, I was trying to take this and end up disconnecting.
Okay. Look, we're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna let our guest from Detroit come back on and give us a few more words, comments, and we're gonna go ahead from there. So y'all just stay tuned and give me a second.
Once again, I grew up around them, and I knew that I couldn't touch them. And I don't think that a lot of parents are teaching their kids about it. And there are some parents that are teaching them about them, but there are not a lot of them that are teaching them about them. And they might even see their kids with a firearm. They don't know nothing about them themselves. It's an education thing that need to be here with those firearms all together too. But I still say, even with all the education, even if you had to go to a class, even with the permits and everything, I don't think that we should have any automatic or semi-automatic weapons. I don't think those are necessary.
I agree with that.
Okay. Well, let me take a quick break, and we'll be right back, y'all. So y'all just hang on, and we're talking just about 2 or 3 minutes. All right.
Sound good?
For over 27 years here in Tuscaloosa, Catfish Heaven has been pleasing our taste buds with their delicious catfish, pan trout, hot wings, coleslaw, hush puppies, and don't forget about those made-to-order French fries. Whether it's your snack time, lunchtime, or dinner time, give the guys a call over at Catfish Heaven at 205-752-7222, or you can make your order online at catfishheaventuscaloosa.com. So head on over to Catfish Heaven at 2502 21st Street. See you there.
Tuscaloosa, get ready for the TTown Memorial Day Weekend Blues and Grill Festival, Saturday, May 27th at Pelmore Park, featuring O.B. McKenna, Avail Hollywood,
Is you 25 and
Arthur Young, Tucker,
they call me Tucker.
TK Soul, Miss Jody, plus Donnie Ray and the J. Morris Group. Also a special guest.
Hey Rick, I had to call you to tell you that the food that you brought to the party last night was wonderful. It made me think about my grandmother's cooking. Where did you get that food, brother?
I went down to Thomas Rib Shack to pick up the ribs, but when I got there, I seen that they had more than just ribs. I seen baked chicken, fried chicken, corn muffins, vegetables, apple pie, peach pie, and I looked around and I seen a sign that told me that they got chitlins and oxtails on Sunday. Oh, all I can tell you, go down to 2931 15th Street or just give them a call like I did at area code 205-759-5010. Thomas Rib Shack, Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Get your event jumping with Caroline Shines and Impulse Band. Impulse Band has been together for over 7 years, and they haven't missed a beat yet. The band has and will play in various venues and doesn't mind traveling to you. Being led by Alabama Blues Hall of Famer herself, Mrs. Caroline Shine. Impulse has opened up for Bobby Rush, L.J. Eccles, Tank, Fantasia, Calvin Richardson, just to name a few. The Impulse Band will surely fit your need for entertainment. Dial 205-887-6859 or 205-887-5026. Or you can just email them at shinesbrightly@yahoo.com. Caroline Shines and Impulse, the band made just for you.
Tuscaloosa, get ready for the TTown Memorial Day Weekend Blues and Grill Festival, Saturday, May 27th at Pelmore Park, featuring O.B. McKenna, Avail Hollywood,
Is you 25 and
Arthur Young, Tucker,
they call me Tucker.
TK Soul, Miss Jody, plus Donnie Ray and the J. Morris Group. Also a special guest.
Okay, we're back. 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 Just want to make a few announcements before we go. Don't forget about the Blues and Grooves concert that's going to take place May 27th. But I want to talk about my good friend George Davis. He got a business, Alabama Breathable Air. And I told him I was going to talk about this for the next couple of weeks on the show, and we're going to try to get him on the program with us to give us a little bit more in depth about his business. And it sounds like it's a really, really, really worthy business. It's called Alabama Breathable Air. Urgent question: does anyone in your household have a severe snoring problem? Number two, does anyone in your household have asthma? Number three, does anyone in your household uses a CPAP machine? Number four, do your pets live inside? Number five, does anyone in your household suffer from severe sinus? Number six, does anyone in your household suffer from COPD? Do you see particles floating in the air when a ray of light shine through the window? Have you ever had water damage in your home? And have you ever seen mold spots on your wall or ceiling? If your answer is yes to at least one of these above questions, then scan the QR code below to view a YouTube video about something that could change your life. For a free home inspection and more about this possible life-saving technology, please contact this person listed below, Mr. George Davis, 205-792-9376. He's a certified EPA. There's absolutely no charge for this inspection and shared information. I thank God for allowing it to be shown to my family in time. And that's Alabama Breathable Air. And sound like we're going to get him on the program one day and talk to us about, because all those questions, I'm sure there's someone in everyone's family that suffered from one of those causes he was talking about: the CPAP, the asthma, and the particles floating in the air and different stuff. So we're gonna get George on to give us a little bit more information about Alabama Breathable Air and his business. He's an African American business owner, and we're just gonna get him on the program and talk more about it. And let me go ahead and say this: just because I disagree with you does not mean that I hate you. We need to relearn that in our society. I like that. I like that. Once again, I didn't get our disclaimer. The opinions expressed in this presentation are my personal opinions. It must not be construed as representing the opinion of any institution with which I am or have been affiliated in our professional life. That goes for Mike and Veronica also. And we also have our disclaimer, copyright disclaimer on Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit, educational, or personal use tip balance in favor of fair use. So I just wanted to make sure we get that out there and let people know. We've had some great shows lately and been some very interesting topics. And I just think we keep it very interesting each and every week on the program. And you still there? We want to let you give us a comment before we get ready to go off.
Yes, I'm still here. Thank you for allowing me to chime in with you all, and I truly want to continue to lift Tuscaloosa up in prayer, and I like everything I hear that's going on down there, and all the business, and as well as Michigan. We gotta pray, Tuscaloosa. We gotta pray. Tuscaloosa is my hometown. I'll be back in Alabama next month, if not before that, to visit.
Okay.
And, Yep, and thanks so much for all the good topics, and we got to continue to spread the word and help where we can, give help and be of help.
Well,
Yes.
that's basically what we try to do. We try to be of help, get help, and help others as we help others that want to help themselves. So we really appreciate you chiming in and commenting on our podcast, as we call it, our Facebook cast. We really appreciate it, and hey, feel free to chime in anytime.
So it's every Thursday at 8 o'clock.
Yes,
It's Tuesday, Thursday.
Tuesday and
Every
Thursday.
Tuesday, Thursday. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday.
Tuesdays and Thursdays. Just Tuesday and
Okay.
Thursday.
Okay. 8 o'clock. Okay. I will sit me a calendar up. If not, then give me a message like you did today.
Okay. Well, we will appreciate you.
All right. Well, appreciate y'all too. Y'all have a blessed day.
You
All
too.
right,
You too.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Thank you.
Hey,
Have a good one.
you too. Bye bye. Good night. Yeah.
Go ahead, Ron.
Hey, before we leave, I want to know, did you guys hear of a privacy breach at DCH?
Of what now?
I did hear about that.
I didn't hear what you
I
said.
did.
Did you hear of a privacy breach that happened in December at DCH?
I hadn't heard that one yet.
Okay. This article was actually posted in January, just a couple of weeks ago, January 19th. Not quite a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
Says that during it's just a regular audit, DCH Health Systems processes in place, to audit workforce members. Because when you work at DCH, if you work on the fifth floor, you don't need to know what's going on. Even if you're a nurse, you don't have access to the patient information on the second floor or even on that floor. You're just supposed to have the patient information to those patients you're assigned to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, during a routine privacy audit on December 9th, 2022, it was discovered that one of the hospital's employed workforce members assessed the electronic medical records of a patient. At first, it states one patient, and they said it happened on December 5th, 2022, without an apparent business reason. Upon further investigation on December 12th, 2022, DCH Health Systems discovered this employee had assessed and viewed additional DCH patient electronic medical records between the months of September 2021 and December 9th, 2022. So for over a year, this person had been accessing records that they had no need to, not a medical or business need to know, without a legitimate business need related to the employee's job duties. They had assessed those records. The number of patients affected was 2,530, way far more than the one that they initially thought. So they found out it was 2,530. The types of information involved, the information that may have been accessed and viewed without authorization by that employee, contains the following elements: name, address, date of birth, social security numbers, date of encounter, diagnoses, vital signs, medications, test results, and the clinical provider notes. What is DCH Health System doing? DCH System takes its responsibility to safeguard protected health information very seriously. Upon identifying the initial inappropriate access, DCH Systems immediately suspended the employee and terminated the employee's access to all medical records and information systems. Upon further investigation, to assess the information impacted, DCH subsequently terminated the individual's employment one business day after the initial discovery. DCH also engaged a data breach recovery expert, so they consulted an expert and established all required and necessary communications to the affected patients and regulatory officials. All affected patients have been notified by mail about this incident. DCH Health Systems has no reason to believe that the information was or will be further used or disclosed. But the thing about it is, this person did this for over a year. Okay, so they say they have no reason to believe that they will use the information. However, out of an abundance of caution, free identity theft protection services, including credit monitoring, were offered to all patients whose insurance group and subscriber policy numbers may have been involved. DCH continues to provide ongoing mandatory HIPAA privacy training to its workforce members regarding appropriate access, use, and disclosure of protected health information. DCH will also use this incident to improve our privacy monitoring tools and processes. Okay, so it says how patients will know if they were impacted. Notices were mailed to the affected patients or their personal representatives on January 17th, 2023. If you did not get a letter in the mail but would like to know if your information was affected, please contact our dedicated toll-free telephone number. And this is the number for anybody who may still be listening if you would like to know if your records have been breached. Because if you just curious to know, even though you didn't get anything in the mail, it's 1-855-624-6814. Again, that number is 1-855-624-6814. You can contact that number Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, excluding U.S. holidays. This number will be operational between January 17th, 2023 and April 17th, 2023. So if you would like to know, if you haven't gotten a letter, hopefully you weren't one of those 2,530 that was affected. But to make sure, you can call that number to find out.
Wow.
And I thought that last time when they held the records hostage or the computer access hostage, I thought that, I don't know. You know what? I'm thinking, well, they say they have ongoing measures. They're, I guess, checking other ways to keep things protected. But if it's an employee, usually, as far as I know, the D says if you have patients A through F, you only can access those records. So how this person got into somebody else's records, I'm not sure of the details of how it happened. If maybe somebody left their monitor open and that person was able to access it. But if that happened, you would have thought that would be a one-time thing. They said that this happened from September 2021 to December 2022.
Wow.
So I thought they had gotten a better, when that stuff happened that time about the hijacking and everything, I thought that they maybe had gotten a better means of keeping people's privacy after that happened.
Apparently not. Apparently not. I want to say hello to Antonio Cook. Thank you for chiming in with us tonight.
That's crazy.
What about the meeting that's supposed to be at Central tonight? Did they set a rescheduled date?
Yes, that meeting has been, it's March. Let me see. I just looked at it right before, so I would know. But I have it here in my flyers. Let me look. That meeting has been postponed to March 2nd at 6 p.m.
March 2nd. So that's about 2 more weeks.
At Central High School Auditorium. Thursday, March 2nd, 2023 at 6 p.m. Central High School Auditorium.
Okay. Well, let me go ahead and make an announcement. The City of Tuscaloosa will be having a multi-department job fair on March 2nd also, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., and that's going to take place at Tuscaloosa River Market. If you're interested in jobs in the Water and Sewer Department, Arts and Entertainment Department, Environmental Services, or Construction Facilities and Grounds, they're having a job fair on March the 2nd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Tuscaloosa River Market. Let's see who else. Jobs announcements. CNA hiring is going on at DCH Hospital. Seeking caring and compassionate CNAs to join our team at DCH. Learn about the exciting career opportunity at DCH has to offer. And that's going to take place on February the 22nd from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Fed Career Center. That's in Fed Career Center.
As I said, so if you're applying for that position, be prepared to drive to the.
Right. And that's at 2631 Temple Avenue North in Fayette, Alabama. So if you're interested in working at the hospital in Fayette, they're doing a CNA hiring event on February the 22nd. Also, don't forget about students, parent, and community forum that's going to take place Saturday, February 18th at 11 a.m. at Greater Faith Church, 16357 Alabama Highway 69 South in Moundville, Alabama. Pizza and soda will be served. So that's first this Saturday, the 18th, if from 11 a.m. until.
Oh, go ahead, Darren. Sorry, I don't know. You may have said it, but I'm not sure.
No, go ahead.
That the other DCH recruitment event that'll be held at Harrison Galleries on 2315 University Boulevard is a nurse recruitment that they're having on March 9th. That was the one that was postponed to March 9th. It was supposed to be today.
Okay, right. The one that was set for the 16th is rescheduled for March the 9th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I seen something on the news that making reference to the real shortage of nurses. They can't even open up a new facility right there in is it in Hoover, the crisis center.
Hold on, wait.
I think it's in.
Oh my God, they told me at work because I didn't even know. I had just recently learned about this center. Yeah. I think it's Hoover, or I think it's Hoover.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Hoover.
So they can't even open up because they didn't have enough staff or nurses to open up the facility. So there's a crisis still. And the guy was talking about, even if they hire travel nurses, it'd be rather expensive because, you do a 13-week contract and then, they move on to the next person. So I guess that was something they did not want to get into. They want some people that's passionate about being at the center and doing what they need done to provide good services there.
Mm-hmm. And that's but is that the one that's the drug and alcohol treatment center, right? Is that it?
Yeah, I think that's what it's going to be related to. I'm not sure what all they're going to be doing, but it's some kind of crisis center.
Probably end up implementing more crisis once it gets open and gets running.
Correct. So that's what that's about. Hey, been a great show. Great, interesting amount of opinions of people from all aspects of life, all over this country. It was just strange. Two people knowing the same young lady that died on this program that was a victim of the mass shooting at Michigan State. I mean, that was just, I found that to be kind of unbelievable. One person is a cousin and one person knows the relative of the young lady.
It's so sad, young girl. Mm-hmm. And with Michigan, a lot of people from, migrated to Michigan from Alabama. I think most everybody in town has relatives in Detroit, or especially the Detroit area. In Detroit, or like right really close to Detroit, a lot of people who live in Tuscaloosa have relatives there, and a lot of those people have relatives here. So my uncle has been there since he was 17, and he's like 71 now, and all of his kids and my cousins, all of them are up there, and then we have other family, just up there as well.
One matter of fact, one of my best friends from here, he moved to outskirts of Detroit. He lives up there, and she was one of my cousins from up that way too. So, yeah, like you say,
a lot of them migrate, I think, because of the auto industry.
Yes.
But that's where my uncle worked. That's the only one place he's ever worked. And even when he retired, he went back to work through the agency. Because and I think there's a lot of migration, from back in the 50s, 60s up to Michigan. Mm-hmm. Because of the auto industry.
That's what my uncle did the same thing. A couple of them went to Detroit, Saginaw, Flint. Mm-hmm. So yeah. It's a very deep connection.
Mm-hmm. So we begin to meet and talk to families and friends from California to Buffalo, New York, to Cincinnati, Ohio, Chicago, Detroit, Alabama, Mississippi. I mean, we reaching all over this country right now, for us conversation wise. And it's amazing how many people have the same ideas that we have. We just don't have an opportunity to share them. And this is a great opportunity to share those ideas, share the information. Oh, Atlanta, Georgia. We have people chime in all the time. My good friend, uh, Miss Hobson, her and her husband, they chime in all the time from over in Georgia. Um, so it's a lot of people that chime in on our program. Mike, relatives from South Carolina, sometime. Just all over the country, chiming in, listening to what little Tuscaloosa, Alabama, talking about. And
Oh yeah, Miss Starver from where is she from South Carolina there or North Carolina?
North Carolina.
South?
North.
North Carolina. Okay. I thought North, I wasn't sure.
Well, we got Mike's family is from South Carolina. And then we got Veronica, Val Scarborough in North Carolina. So yeah, we have people from all over chiming in with us and sharing information. Matter of fact, Val will be here.
Tar Heels.
I'm sorry.
No, I was saying Tar Heels, North Carolina.
Oh yeah. We got even I think she's coming to town. I gotta get. She sent me an email. I gotta send it back. She'll be here in town, so maybe she'll come on and share some information about I think she has a women's conference, I believe, that's coming up in the very next March or April. I'm not sure. I gotta check my email and see. But yeah, been a great show. Appreciate you,
The reason
Jason.
why I'm thinking about it is in March, because somebody else will be doing winter, I think.
Okay.
I'm not mistaken. It was the same one I'm thinking about.
I think it is too. But Jesse and Kai and Veronica and everybody, we had some good weather. We had some good, the weather came through, but we were spared again.
Thank God.
Thank God. Yes.
Thank God. It seems like when you think it's like the last time you think it's not gonna be so bad, you get a couple of tornadoes. Then when you think it may be rough, it goes through smoothly. So thank God for God.
Yes.
Tell you one thing, I never underestimated. That's for sure.
Never. Well, that's
true.
Nobody.
I used to take it for granted though. So,
right. I definitely say right now, it seems like nobody is taking it for granted no more. Even especially the school system. We got to applaud the school system.
Yeah, that's right.
Jobs.
To be safe.
They making sure they're keeping our children safe and making sure they ain't putting them in a situation that they can't. And please continue to pray for Selma and Utah areas. They're still going through. They're going through it. Selma gonna actually have to be rebuilt. It's gonna probably have to be new. From my understanding, it's gonna probably be totally rebuilt to look totally different.
Wow. Jesus.
Yeah.
So keep them in your prayers. And matter of fact, you're probably gonna see some migration of people too, from Selma, Dallas County area to other areas because, from my understanding, it was pretty bad. Like Tuscaloosa back in 2011, it was pretty bad. That was really bad.
Oh yeah, that was bad. Yeah,
that was really bad. So as you can tell, places we go to now, you can probably say, "Oh, I remember where that used to be, such and such."
Yeah, I still do it. I still do it.
Yeah, I think me and Sean were working at the cable company when that came through, and some of the places we went through, you want to know where you was at if you just, especially a whole area. Usually, hey, that's Lucky Dollar. So that's where Crest Nice is, where it wasn't no Lucky Dollar. It wasn't nothing down there. It was just flats. And you're like, I can't even believe that this is where Crest Nice used to be, or where Crest Nice is at.
Yeah.
Like it was that's how that tornado came down and took everything down there. And then on 15th Street, it was some things were gone, and then right beside something that was completely gone. Other things just standing like nothing happened to it. So that's what a tornado do.
Yeah.
I know. Then instead of Benny actually had to tell me we were on 15th Street when we got to 15th Street because I looked at him and said, "Where are we?" Nothing looked familiar.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And Harbor Road too.
And I have a niece. I think she may be moving back here. I have a niece, my brother's daughter, who lives in Selma, and I think she may be coming back here.
But you know that tornado that April 11 here in Tuscaloosa. I mean, have you really looked at the path that it took from jumping the interstate? You know, coming across King Acres area, actually began to lower. I'm gonna just assume it started lowering itself right there by the Salvation Army as it jumped the interstate, and it lowered itself at the Salvation Army. Eventually jumped or rose up, and then just came straight down on Rosedale, and then took the path on over toward the apartments that used to be right there by the speedy mark, and then then went back up. Yeah. Then jumped back again up and landed over towards 15th Street, where a lot of the McFarland, I guess you can say McFarland and 15th Street, the quick pawn shop that was there. Yeah, kept on hit some of McFarland, then jumped again.
And Forest Lake, because it was trees uprooted that had, were hundreds and hundreds of years old. Right. I saw UA students walking up down Harbor as you leave UA coming from Harbor, coming to their way, because nobody really fully understood. We started hearing people say things, and you start to see people, depending on what area you live, you actually start to see people. So I was like, let me go check on my mama. So, we got in the car and we checked on my mom, and y'all, when I tell you, on Hargrove, coming up by Grace Presbyterian, there were students walking, some of them bare feet.
Right.
I guess it looked like a war zone. It looked like something from Gone with the Wind or something. And the funniest thing, when we got to my mom's house, I think me and Lisa was talking about this yesterday. Her satellite was full blast. James fan had the suspenders on, and my cable was out. And I was over in the forest. I had cable, and you know what the thing has mostly been about satellite is that if it gets cloudy, the satellite may go out. Right. Her satellite did not go out at all, and we were out of cable. Our cable was out. And that was just so strange to me to see those people just walking like that, not knowing where to go, not knowing where they would spend the night.
Right.
It was just so many. It was people trying to get in touch with their family. I couldn't get my brother on the phone. The phone lines were wild. They were crazy. They were either messed up or they were just over. Just you couldn't get through. It was just instantly hang up every time. Just hang up.
And then it landed in Alberta. Wow. It took
Alberta. Got it bad.
Landed in Alberta. Hit over by the shopping center there, the old police department, that area of Alberta City. Took out some of the older apartments over there, Eastern Square.
Graceland got demolished.
Graceland. Then it went
Alberta Elementary School.
Yes.
Yeah, they wiped that school
out. All of that was gone. That little bank, fire department, that little shopping center in front of Leland Lane, just gone. All of it.
Yeah.
And they kept going down all the way toward the water tower, and then it went straight down that road and just tore all the hope.
All the hope. It just got on the ground. Looked like it just got on the ground and hope, and just plowed a pathway, like a path going through there. And then
it was half a mile wide. We had a co-worker that worked with us who was actually sitting there filming it while it was on the ground. They called us in, which, like I told you before, I was actually up on the pole when the sirens went off and the wind started gusting. And if I wasn't belted off, that would have been the second time I would have fell off a ladder. Um, and they told me, well, they said, y'all need to come on in. And I was in the middle of the install. And the person I was doing the install for was mad because he said, I guess I ain't gonna get no cable today. So I was like, man, okay. Threw my light on my van and went on to the shop. And when we got in there, they was like, man, look, there it is right there. And they just started recording. And I went and sat down because I was like, as long as it don't come this way. I just didn't realize it was gonna be like it was, but it was huge.
Yeah, see,
It got posted on the Weather Channel. That video.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, didn't the president come down?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the president came down.
I wasn't too far away from Barack Obama that day. But them, the National Guard turned us right on around.
Yeah, but that was one of the worst tornadoes in U.S. history, and then came Joplin.
Yeah, you're
So
absolutely right.
that year, the tornadoes were wow. Then came Joplin, and they were like, "This was worse than Tuscaloosa. This was worse than Tuscaloosa. This was worse than Alabama." And when they said that, we was like, "What?" Because if it was worse, then that was, and it was when you saw the images. They both were horrible, but I could see why. I'm like, that's not something to debate. I mean, nobody wants to win that trophy.
No, nobody want to win that.
Whose tornado was the worst? I mean, it was awful. Both of them was just horrible. And then they talked about, they said, oh, the nurses in DCH were crying. Like, who would be crying? The way that tornado was going, it was like all over the town.
It was actually, they said it jumped right over DCH and went up the
Well, they had to see it out of DCH that went.
Yeah, and it went near the Highlands. It went near the Highlands, and that's what they hit on that.
It ripped that neighborhood up right there. It ripped it up because you could see right to DCH when you couldn't, years before that.
Right, Jesse, right, because we were walking, we were headed to my mom's house. I was like,
wasn't that hard?
It was like you were like,
it was right. I was so hard, like that's
because we're not known for skyscrapers, the buildings and houses like that tall. But the trees, there are trees, and it's like you could
it wiped everything
from
out.
Rock right. You could like at West Coast Customs or at Forest Lake area on 15th Street, all you saw was the towers. The hospital.
Yeah, it was like that's the hospital. That's how it looked.
And that's why I was like, when it hit Joplin, it hit their major hospital.
Man, that was just man. I don't know. A lot of that probably still suffer from PTSD from that thing.
We had several tornadoes earlier that year though. I want to say leading up to that one big one, we had three, like four, three or four, like 3 weeks or 3 or 4 weeks in a row.
Yeah, one came through Skyland. One came through Skyland. Came right over my house over there. And tore the tree down in my neighbor's yard.
But y'all remember they used to kind of would go that route, kind of the Skyline, because I remember way back then when it was Gafers, and it tore the roof off of Gafers one year, and you remember it was kind of like it would go that way, and it was kind of down 69, and that's when the young lady that killed her and her baby, I think, that ripped the baby from her, and that was a bad tornado as well. But like I said, that before that tornado hit, there was a few weeks before, because I can remember. My mom and my sister were at Food World at the time. I think it was still Food World, and they told them to go to the freezer. And so there were people like, how people don't want to do. They were like, y'all, the tornado is bad. You need to go to the freezer. So my mom and sister went to the freezer, and so you really couldn't make people stay, but they tried their best to make people stay. And then it was like again, I was leaving Walmart, and you know how the tornado looks like. Maybe not all of them, but it looks like an upside down witch hat. Like I was leaving Dollar Tree. And I'm like, I was headed to Willard Forest, and I saw the tornado was like coming from the 69 area. I don't know if that one had come from Hale County or if it was coming from the, over 359 coming that way, but it was headed up Skyline. I could look back and see it. I jumped in that car. I booked it too. I called again. I said, y'all open up that door. Open that door because I'm coming out. This tornado. And then there were guys leaving Walmart and people were trying to get them to stay. And I guess they were watching. They was like, to them, that was like, wow, they were looking. I was like trying to get down Skyland to Willard Forest. Because I was in the car already. And it's like I was at the light when you turn off the Skyland. So I'm like, okay, I gotta go home with my kids. You know what mom gonna think. I should have been thinking go back into Walmart because they're at home. But I'm like, I gotta go back to my kids. So it's y'all right. It was like 2 or 3 of them before that one hit.
It would.
Yeah, because I remember we made a comment of saying we're gonna have a brand new plant before the end of this year. Yeah. Because every time we looked around, we was having a relay fiber and everything else, and we was like, God, no, man. But they were always, it's tornado, so even a hill from zero is bad. But it was like, dang, man.
Wasn't that an E5? Was it an E5? Was that? It was one of the highest ones.
It was E4.
Okay, it was okay. So Joplin was an E5. So that's where they were trying to talk about which one. I said no. It was. I knew it was E4, E5, and then Joplin was definitely E5. And just to look at the damage, it's kind of like, and then looking at remember what had just happened here. It was like, oh my goodness, like I don't know. It was just that I guess what they call it, this tornado alley. I don't. It was just. It was a lot. It was a lot that year. It was a lot, and you know what though, and I don't remember. Maybe y'all do. For weeks, everybody gave water, food. I don't really hear about any looting. It may have been like small pockets or something.
Okay,
I don't remember anybody like looting to a national, like like they did. Where was it? It was somewhere. I remember them folks was all over social media, all over the news. So I do remember like some pockets of it, but for the most part, people did right. But I remember, I can't remember what incident. I do remember hearing some stuff. But I was just so glad that people did it right. Most people did it right.
People out there trying to pick up copper and going through rubble and stuff because it was all kind of people going through Rosedale. And you know what I'm saying? And they went, so most of them folks understand that the only problem that I think that most of us had that worked at in Comcast at the time was we didn't want to run up on anybody deceased. Because that was gonna mess somebody.
Because there were animals. There were animals. There were animals out there.
Yeah, we actually had a dude that he could not come back after that tornado. You remember Kelly, don't you? Yeah, Sean Kelly. Yeah, he couldn't come back after that. Right. So, yeah, them tornadoes ain't they serious business, and it's pouring down rain right now, but I haven't heard any thunder or anything, which is a good thing. So I know that after the rain comes chilly weather. It's not supposed to get out the 40s tomorrow. So please, everybody who be out there, you got to put the jacket. Because today, I know it was a lot of folks walking around today without
summertime.
Short.
Like I just think folks with shorts on.
Yes.
And with the dog.
Yeah, because it's going to be 40-something degrees tomorrow. But it was, and by next Thursday, it's going to be close to 80. So
yeah, it's going to be 3 days out of next week. It's going to be in the 80s.
It's going to be cold. They say ain't going to quite make it to 80. It's going to be like 78 or 79.
Close enough.
If that close, you never know when that degree fluctuates.
Like 79.
Okay.
I'm just saying for James. But yeah, so you know what I'm saying, like, but y'all gotta keep one thing in mind. We still in winter. It's still February, and
Alabama.
And did the groundhog see his shadow?
He did.
She doesn't make groundhog.
No, I don't think cloud. He came out. They don't work cloud out there.
Doesn't go groundhog.
That groundhog don't know nothing about down.
I'm trying to tell you, you don't know nothing about down here.
Boy, that might be it. That might be something. It might turn into summer in March.
Yeah, the meteorologists, they don't want a job down here.
Yeah.
No.
Well, look, great show, guys. Great show. Appreciate the conversation. Check us out on Tuesday. Hey, share the program. I mean, you got family and friends from out of state want to talk with us, share opinions on different things. Hey, please invite them to be our guests. We don't mind talking with them. Interesting to hear other points of views and how things is in other parts of the city. And Ann had mentioned something about the class. That was one thing that popped in our mind just quick. So,
Mm-hmm.
but y'all have great.
That governor, they have a good governor. Very good governor.
Well, that's
They
good.
do.
Well, y'all have a good weekend. We're gonna talk on Tuesday, and y'all be
And we will
safe.
see everybody. We're gonna come out on Saturday at 11 o'clock at Greater Faith. 1655 Highway 69 South Mountville, Alabama.
Straight shot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all.
All right.
All right, y'all have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Y'all have a good one, y'all.
Thank y'all.
Tuscaloosa, get ready for the TTown Memorial Day Weekend Blues and Grill Festival. Saturday, May 27th at Pelmore Park, featuring O.B. McKenna, Avail Hollywood,
Is you 25 and
Arthur
up?
Young, Tucker,
They call me Tucker.
TK Soul,
Oh, try me.
Miss Jody,
Me right.
plus Donnie Ray and the J. Morris Group. Also a special guest